Hi everyone, welcome in English class. This is the week number 2. So you have to open your English learner book and English activity book for the homeworks. I hope you finish the homework. Okay, so here is the unit number 1. Look in a book. And this is the lesson number 2. Look inside a book. Page number 9. You have to write the date 8/9/2020 on your books. Okay, yesterday we talked about the types of books, contents of books. Okay, this is our last topic. And today we learned fiction and non-fiction books. Today we talked about fiction and non-fiction books. So here are the types of different books. Okay, so here is your English learner's book. This is your storybook, bedtime stories, and this is your math book. In this book, you learn about how to speak, how to read, how to write, and you can read different stories, okay? And here, this is the storybook. You can read the stories about different characters. In this book, you can find characters like animals, humans, okay, like cartoons. And this is your math book. In this book, you can learn how to add numbers, how to multiply, how to divide, okay, how to subtract. So here are different types of books. Maybe you have more books in your home. So maybe some stories books and your school books and different recipes books. In that books you can learn how we can make cakes and different recipes. We also talked about contents of books. So here, as you can see the book, this is your book and the book name is Busy Boats. Busy Boats. And the man who wrote this book is named Jack Adler. And this is your book cover. And this book tell you about different books. So now here are the three contents of any book. Number one, title. Title is the name of the book, Busy Boats. Next one, author. Author means the man who wrote this book. Okay, and now you can read. So author name is Jack Adler. And this is the cover, book cover. So here, as you can see, the main page of the book cover. And your learner book cover like yellow. So the first one is title. The second one is author. And the third one is cover. So here are the main three contents of any book. We also looked inside the book. So when you open this book, there is a contents. Okay, the contents have pages, chapters, units. So here is the unit number 1. You can call it chapter number 1, Little Boats. And you can find this page quickly by looking at this number 2. Big Boats, Chapter 2. Big Boats, page number 5. Chapter 3. Old Boats, page 8. Chapter 4. New Boats, page 10. So here are the main important, okay, the important things for any book. So here you can see the page and find the lesson and topic easily. So here are the boats, this book about boats. So here is the small boat, big boat, new boat, and old boat. Today we all talked about types of books. So there are two kinds of books. The first book you can see fiction books, and second book about non-fiction books. So here are the two kinds of books: fiction books, non-fiction books. Now here you can find the difference between two books. So which book is fiction? Which book is fiction? Before we start this, I'm gonna tell you about the fiction books. Fiction books like a story books, okay? As you can see this book, you can find the characters, okay, about rabbit. Okay, so this book about the snowy day, and you cannot call it a funny book. So this book about the story, the snowy day. So this is fiction books. This is a fiction book. So I'm going to tell you about fiction book. Fiction books tell a story. Okay, the fiction books tell a story. And fiction books have characters. Characters mean you can find the characters like rabbit, duck, okay? So here you can find some animals or characters like cartoons, okay? So fiction book have stories and fiction book have characters. Now I'm going to show you more books, fiction books. Here is the first fiction book, Attack of the Vikings. Here, as you can see, this book will tell you the story about Vikings, okay? And these books tell you about the story. And Battle of Burp, and this book about dragons. So these books are fictions because the content about stories and different characters, and they are not real in life, okay? They just tell you the story. I hope you understand the fiction books. Now let's talk about non-fiction books. Non-fiction books will give you real information. Non-fiction books will give you real information. Real information means, as you can see, the animals, okay, the lion, okay, the little kids' first big books of animals, and domestic animals, and this book about Saudi Arabia, the history of Saudi Arabia. So these non-fiction books will give you real information. Like these two books will tell you about the habitats of animals, what animals eat, where animals live, okay, what they like to eat, okay, and what they will provide you. For example, the cow gives you milk. So this is the real information, okay? So you can learn about animals, what they like, what they eat, and where they live, and what kind of environment they like. So in this book, The History of Saudi Arabia, they tell you about the history, okay? The culture, what people like in Saudi Arabia, what they eat, and how they celebrate their ceremonies, okay? And how they celebrate the Independence Day. And your Independence Day is coming, okay? So these books will give you real information, and they have characters, but real characters. So you understand about the fiction books and non-fiction books. Fiction books will tell you a story and characters, and the non-fiction books will give you real information. Now I'm going to ask a question. Which book is fiction? The first book or the second book? You know, the fiction book have stories and characters. So as you can see, characters, some girls and boys like cartoons, okay, and stories, and but not real information. They just, these stories just in the mind, okay, you can keep in the mind, but you cannot do them reality in reality. But this book, you know, this is the non-fiction book, so you can learn how to add numbers, multiply, divide, and subtract, okay. You can learn multiples of tens, multiples of 5. So this is the fiction book and this is the non-fiction book. So you have to repeat. So now here are some more books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 books, and fiction or non-fiction. You have to think about it, okay? This book about the shoemaker, okay? The olives and the shoemaker. So this is the fiction because it has character. Make fantastic cakes. So this book will tell you about how to make a fantastic cakes. So this is fiction or non-fiction. You have to think about it. The elephants of India. So the elephants, this book will give you real information about elephants, okay? Where elephants live and how they drink water, okay? So where is the trunk and the different body parts of the elephant. So this is the non-fiction book. Four friends. You can see the characters and this story, okay, storybook. So it is fiction. Now, the flying panda. You know, panda can fly, okay? So what do you think? This is a story, character. You can just, you cannot make the real story, okay? For this panda, okay? Because panda can fly. So this is fiction or non-fiction? Yes, it is fiction. How do planes fly? So here is the plane, and you know planes can fly. So you can learn how to planes fly. Okay, how do planes fly? So this is the non-fiction. I hope you understand today's lesson. So what you're gonna do? This is your activity book. Okay, and this is the page number 6, okay, on the activity book. What you have to do, you have to follow my lesson, okay? And you have to circle the title and underline the author, okay? The author means the man who write the book, the man who wrote the book, and this is the title of the book. The book is about snakes. This book about the snowy day. So this is it title or is it author? Yes, it is title. So you have to circle and underline the author. So here are the four things, okay? Fiction, non-fiction, scary, and funny. So here are the four types of books. So what you're gonna do, you have to draw two lines from each book, okay? You have to draw two lines and you match on this point, okay? So what do you think, snakes? Snakes fiction or non-fiction? So you have to think about it. I can say snakes can be scary, okay? And I can say snakes will be non-fiction. Why? Because this book will tell you about the snakes, okay? The real snakes. The snowy day, I can say maybe it's funny, okay? Because the characters are playing, so you can say it's funny, but you can't say it's scary, okay? So you have to match the two lines, okay, with these two dots. And which book do you want to read? Okay, so you have to select one book, okay, from the question number one, or you can also choose the word from here. Do you like fiction books, non-fiction books, scary books, or funny books? So you have to write here. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.